head coach Laura Harvey here. Please raise your hand if you have any questions. Jada, you can get us started.
Thanks for the time. It can kind of be hard to have a new goalkeeper and the game unfold the way that it did. Can you talk a little bit about Cassie's performance, and then with the first half, you guys seem to come out really well or do really well in the first half, but yeah.
Yeah, I thought Cassie did great. I don't think she could have done anything really with any of the goals. Yeah, I said to the players at the end of the game, I thought in the first half we were by far the better team, created more chances than they did. Obviously disappointed with their goal, but more disappointed that in the moments we had momentum and we were creating chances, that we didn't take more than the chance that we did. Because goals change games, and the momentum obviously really shifted when they got their penalty. After they got their penalty, really we were desperately trying to get ourselves back in the game. Brought fresh legs on and tried everything we could to get back into the game, but then opened ourselves up a little bit and exposed some spaces for them. And I said to the players at the end, the difference between the game was in the first half where we had momentum and we had chances, we weren't ruthless enough and clinical enough. And the chances that they had, they were. And that's the game in a nutshell, really.
Qasim, go ahead.
So talking about being clinical, you guys started on the front foot in this game. A lot of transition, just quick strike chances. Was that kind of the point of emphasis to kind of come out looking like that, accurate long balls, that kind of thing when started?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, not particularly necessarily just long balls, but we want to move the opponent and expose the space they gave us. And early in the game, they were giving us the opportunity to get down the side of them and go a little bit longer with Mia or Sally or Maddie Mercado or Soph or Darlene, whoever it was. And then they sort of changed to stop that because it was hurting them. And then we got a little bit more space centrally. And I thought in the first half we did a really good job of adapting to what was happening. But kept being on the front foot, which is a lot of the things we've worked on during the summer. But in those moments, you've got to be clinical. If you want to take over the game, those are the moments you've got to be clinical. And like I said before, I think they were clinical in the moments that they had.
And then for Mia, on that first goal, she has kind of a turn and burn right side, the individual quality. How did you kind of evaluate her day overall, and what do moments like that as a coaching staff? What does that kind of do for you in evaluating Mia overall?
We see that every day from Mia, and I've said this a ton now about Mia. That's the stuff we want to see from her. She doesn't get a direct assist or a direct notch on the stats board, but without her ability to be able to maneuver herself down that channel, the goal doesn't happen. So, credit to her from that. There was the one where it's a bit of a scramble inside the box and Kaylin had to pull out a really good save, and Mia was off balance a little bit. But again, like those are the ones that we need to fall for her from a goals perspective. But I thought overall her work rate was really good. Defensively, she worked really hard. She held the ball up for us really well in the first half. It was a challenge in the second half to do that. But overall, I thought it was a good performance by Mia.
Nico, go ahead.
Hi, Laura. Could you talk about what you feel went wrong specifically in the second half defensively and your overall thoughts on the tackle that led to the penalty?
Yeah, I just think we got a little bit tired and we got stretched and we ended up chasing the game. Whereas in the first half, I thought we did a really good job of just staying in our shape and forcing them to break us down. In the second half, we got a little bit more stretched. And we spoke about it at the water break. We spoke about it at halftime, that they're the things we needed to make sure we did really well. And again, it wasn't like they had loads and loads of chances and Cassie was having to stand on her head. It was just those slight little moments. The penalty, I didn't have a great view of it. I watched it back on the TV, and I think if it was against us, I would want the referee to overturn it. But I'm not sure there's enough in it when he doesn't give it originally. But if we've been watching the World Cup, that wouldn't get overturned in the World Cup. But it is what it is. And I think if it was a penalty on us, I would be disappointed if that wasn't given.
And a bit more touching on the positives. Huerta had a nice assist. Just want to get your overall thoughts on her performance throughout the game.
Yeah, I thought Soph had some good moments. Obviously we got her in the positions we want to get her in the first half. We didn't quite get there in the second half. But yeah, I thought she did some good stuff.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Qasim.
So you talked about getting numbers forward as a remedy for this offense. How do you kind of evaluate how you guys got more numbers into the box? I saw that Sam was listed as a forward going into this one. I mean, is that kind of a tactical change?
I didn't even know that happened, so no, that's nothing to do with me. Yeah, I think we just know that we want to have a 5-player front 5 that can get themselves in the box, and I thought we did a better job of that tonight. There was also times where we got people isolated 1v1 or in spots on their own with space and created opportunities that way. I think we have to be able to create opportunities in different ways. I thought tonight, again, we've created enough opportunities in the first half to honestly put the game to bed. And, again, we were disappointed on their goals, all 3 of them. I thought all 3 we could have solved better. How the penalty comes about, we could have solved better. I think we got a little split on the 3rd goal defensively. And obviously we give the ball away close to our goal on the 1st goal. So I think they're all preventable goals. But like I said, they were ruthless in those moments and clinical in those moments. And that's something that we've got to keep pushing ourselves to be, because we got in those moments tonight. We've just got to be more clinical in those moments.
Thanks.
Any other questions? All right, thank you.